So let us start by saying and talking about the importance of Stats SA and official statistics. Official statistics are used for planning by any nation. That is why they track issues over long term to see whether people have water, electricity, how their settlements are at home in terms of whether their children living with their mothers alone, with their fathers alone, or with both parents and the like. And indeed to also understand aspects of service delivery, water, electricity. Having said so, let us look at one specifically this month that we have just exited, the month of June, about young people. In South Africa, we have about 17.5 million people who are young, 0 to 14 years, and we have about 20 million who are 15 years to 34 years. So we have a relatively young population. And after that, once we have understood that we have a young population, we know that unemployment is a serious challenge for young people, 15 to 34 years, where their unemployment is sitting at about 46%. And indeed, when you look at those aged 15 to 24 years, you are looking at about 60.4%. We also have about 3.8 million young people who are not in employment, education, or training. So when Stats SA starts illuminating these issues, it helps, our government to know how to plan in terms of arresting the joblessness that we experience as a country, but also for captains of industry to understand where and how they need to respond to this issue. And the budget speech has to do with the program of Stats SA, where amongst other issues, we are advancing in technology, where we no longer use paper, and indeed we will also raise issues that we have a high vacancy rate, but we have engaged with our colleagues in National Treasury to deal with this issue of the vacancies. But the vacancies alone should not be seen as an impediment of the work of Stats SA, because we are able to move staff members around to prioritize areas where we have national indicators so that we don't falter on national indicators. And I'm talking about issues, I've already spoken about issues of employment, but we also talk about the GDP, we talk about prices in the form of CPI and the like. But indeed, for a person out there seated at home, we do encourage them that when they see our field workers coming and knocking at their doors, please open doors for them, engage them, let them ask you the questions that they want to ask, so that our nation can understand what we need to address. And indeed, sometimes they want to ask to use your bathroom, they are thirsty, give them water. I do know that sometimes there are people who come out in posters who claim that they come from Stats SA. We work with the police, we work with the local councillors. In rural areas, we work with traditional leaders to let them know that we are in the neighborhood. So Team Stats SA is out there with the people. We were out there working with PRASA. We need to thank PRASA for having allowed us to work, to engage the commuters in their trades.